Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today we're going to review the Storm King's Thunder miniature line, and I have a special guest.
John Chackle. Yay!
Yeah, John's been doing this with me a few times now, pretty much all of the miniature reviews.
Yeah, it's one thing I'm good at, I guess.
Okay, so we'll start off number one, work our way through. The first one is the Intellect Devourer.
Yep, fun little guy. Nice to keep as a pet if you're maybe illiterate, but yeah.
I have so many of these, I'm going to unleash a horde of them on my players one day.
Next we have the sprite wielding a sword. Well, dagger for most normal people, but for them it's a sword.
Yeah, it's funny, I've used the sprites a few times and the pixies, and now I have miniatures to represent them. I feel like that is a risky manoeuvre actually. The last time they wound up being turned into bunny rabbits.
And we have sprite number 2, and this fine person is using a bow. You know, who doesn't want to be shot with tiny little needles?
Which probably don't do very much damage. It's the polymorph that I find more dangerous for the pixie. But sprites are still troublesome.
Oh yeah. Next we have the Dark Mantle. Little octopusy kind of thing.
I've dropped these on my players a few times. They work really well when there's lots of dark areas and they can't see in it.
Alright, one of the nice little familiars that we haven't seen for a while, the Homunculus.
I don't really like this miniature. It looks a little...
Looks like a bat.
It does. It looks a bit like a bat. Most of the other miniatures so far have been pretty good, but this one I'm not terribly impressed by.
Alright, we come up to the first player character kind of miniature, Kazi Alphalandra. I do apologise on the pronunciation.
What do we got? A bow, and I'm not terribly impressed by the character miniatures in the set. Not so far. This one in particular.
Alright, and next we have Crag Ungot.
Crag Ungot.
What I can remember, these are important NPCs in the Adventures, the hard book cover.
Okay, this is not bad. I actually like this particular miniature, but it kind of reminds me of the manga TV series and movies, where everything that they
huge giant sword.
Yeah, and you can see the back end. He's been working out. He's got a tight butt. Moving on.
A giant toad or frog, depending on which region you're in.
I do believe using a giant toad, and it resulted in somebody pretty much in the surprise attack being swallowed, devoured and killed instantly, pretty much.
Yes, I know there's a few adventures where people have been inside toads. Not a pleasant sight.
It's a pretty good miniature for a toad, although I can't say a miniature for a toad is the most exciting miniature I've seen.
Alright, now onto the Scarecrow. I mean, if we're off to see the wizard, need to have a Scarecrow.
Yeah, I like the Scarecrow miniature, and I'm actually glad that they're easy to find in the box set, so that you can pick up quite a few pretty easily. And I used these during Halloween for my Halloween adventure. And
yes, I remember that one. Alright, next we have the Kenku. I have to admit, with the addition to the new player races, Kenku miniatures have now come into fashion a bit more.
I actually have a ton of these already from older sets, but I'm kind of glad they've brought them out again, because Kenku are one of those sorts of things that you can use at low level, but they sort of break up the boredom of seeing goblins and kobolds for the umpteenth time.
Oh yeah, and you know, it was following suit. One has a sword, one has to have a bow.
Yeah, they seem to be trying to make sure there's one of everything, you know, a variant on every miniature that they put out. So yeah, not bad.
Alright, next up we have Yokolol. I have no idea if it's a tree, a demon or a slime. It's probably a combination of any of them.
I think it is a demon, isn't it? And I've got a bunch of these, so they're definitely going to get used at some point, because why have them and not use them? But yeah.
Classic Hellhound. You don't want to be being chased by one of those things.
Yeah, I've got a ton of these from older sets as well. It's not the best Hellhound, I have to say, but it'll do. At least you're getting something that you haven't seen for a while. It's not a goblin or an orc.
Alright, next up we have the Bandit Captain.
I don't know about you, but I actually like these miniatures.
Yes.
And it's something that you'd probably come across quite often, so
Yeah.
the fact that they haven't put them out till now is like... well,
I think we've had a few bandits in the previous sets, but not a captain, so...
yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good sculpt too.
Speaking of which, can't have a captain without a bandit.
Yep. And these, you can pick these up pretty easily. There's quite a few in the sets. I've already got a few already. Yep.
Yeah, as I said, I do like these ones. Okay, next up we have the insect creatures. Threen, I think I've pronounced that one badly.
Thigh cream?
That's probably a lot better.
Okay, well, they're not so easy to get. You can pick up a few if you buy enough boxes. They're actually one of my favourites. The fact that they're so hard to get, there aren't too many in the old sets that I know of. I don't think I've got...
Who doesn't want to be fighting ant people?
Yeah, no, and they're really cool. They do get a bit bent and twisted though.
Yes, and as another one, we have another one with different weapons this time.
He's doing the limbo. If you'll notice that he's sort of leaning backwards. That's that they don't sort of they fall out of shape a little bit. So heat them up in some hot water and then let them set in the shape that you want them to be in. Okay. What do we get?
Alright, next one is a Gith Monk.
Gith Monk.
With weapons. You'll understand
daggers.
what I mean when you see the next miniature. This one has daggers.
Weapons? I don't understand. They look like daggers to me on this one.
Yeah.
So what are they supposed to be if there's...
well, as I was about to say, this one is a bit of a magic user.
Oh. Okay. His hand looks like it's been squashed in a press.
Yeah, but this set does contain a lot of, I would say, double-ups of creatures, but one different weaponry. So I do like this set because it has different miniatures, and you can throw them together and you can have different miniatures for the same things.
Okay.
Alright, next up, Cliff Kendrick.
Cliff Kendrick. That'll make the players happy who... anybody who wanted to play like a paladin-like character or a fighter. You kind of feel like he's doing that pose from He-Man.
I have the power!
Power!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Showing your age on that one.
Okay, alright, well thanks.
Alright, following the track, I guess we can't be wrong with this right.
What?
Yeah, it's a disco right.
It's a disco, right?
Well, I mean, seriously, the armour gives it away.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's holding a severed head.
Oh yeah. But purple armour, really?
That does sort of say something.
Yeah.
Did they run out of paint of the right colour?
Maybe.
Anyway, I think it is an appalling miniature myself.
Alright, next up we have Yuan-ti Pureblood. Wielding scimitar.
Yeah.
And you probably don't want to be messing with her.
Yeah, well, she actually looks like she's leaning forward. So, heat that one up and set it in the right position.
Or she could be about to lunge at someone.
Possibly, I suppose that's possible. Either that or she's very forward. Okay, moving on.
Next up, Yuan-ti Pureblood with a bow.
I like this miniature more. Not that I'm saying the sculpt is great, but I just think the general sort of position makes for a more interesting miniature. I just don't really see them sort of being up close and fighting up close in a skimpy dress. It's just me.
Alright, then we have the Azure. Half fire, half dwarf, I guess?
Yep. I'm pretty sure I've seen a miniature like that. in other sets before. Is that my imagination? I'm pretty sure.
That does look similar to something I've seen, yes.
Yeah, I kind of...
Maybe not the new sets, but the older sets.
Right, okay. Kind of neat that the hair is sort of translucent on fire, and his weapon looks like it's got fire coming off it. Is that a pick or a hammer or something like that?
I think it's a... Wow, I'd say hammer, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused on that one.
Yeah, it's a hammer, isn't it, in the front, and it's got sort of like a pick in the back. It's quite a cool miniature.
Alright, so now onto the rare small miniatures. We have Solara Thane.
This is a very nice miniature, I have to say. But then again, they spend a bit more time on the more rare items, don't they?
Oh yeah.
The funny shoulder armour plate looks a little bit strange, but...
Well, warriors and their strange armours.
Okay, alright. Where's this supposed to go back?
There. Alright, next up we have the Night Hag. Ooh.
Hags, can't get too many of them. This is a really nice miniature though, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
I've got 3 of these contending with my players in the Curse of Strahd, and they are still alive and causing them strife.
Not for long if I can help it.
Yeah, yeah, you good luck on that one.
Next up you have Yuan-ti Malison. From what I can gather, they are the male versions of Yuan-tis, and they're like stronger from the purebloods.
So a shield, and what the heck is that weapon? It looks a little bit like a scimitar, but it's not.
It would be a Egyptian weapon, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called. I think it begins with a K.
Yeah, okay.
Oh dear.
Alright.
Alright, next up we have Yuan-ti Malison, this time with snake for arms.
It's a weird miniature, but I'm assuming this is going to be one of those miniatures that people really want to get because it is so unusual and so difficult to get.
I would assume so. I do know that the Malisons themselves are like big, strong, and they're mutants. So, because a lot of them have different variations. Because Yuan-tis want to become snakes. And that is their goal in life.
Well, this one is getting there.
Yep. And next up we have one more Malison, and this one's getting almost close to becoming a snake.
This is probably one of my favourites. It reminds me of the sort of part human, part snake creature in the Golden Voyages of Sinbad, I think it was. Or was it the Seven Seas? I can't remember. It'll be one of those old fantasy movies. But yeah, very cool miniature.
Oh yeah. Next up we have, I like this miniature personally, Helena Nostrum. But then again I have a thing for pirates.
And the swashbuckler class.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, what has she got on here? She's got... Is that a...
It's an anchor.
It's an anchor.
Oh yeah.
She's going to hook somebody. And... Has she got no hands on one side? Doesn't look like, she doesn't look like she's holding it. It looks like that one side is actually just built in as an anchor.
No, as you can see the rope on the back, so she actually chucks it and then yanks it back. The
oh, okay.
The cuff that she has is pretty much covering her hand.
Oh,
and it's magical, as you can see from the glow.
Oh, the glowing purple bits. That's magical. All right.
Yes. And as I was talking about Yuan-tis wanting to become snake people, this is the one that's done it the most. The Yuan-ti Abomination.
I got 2 of these. Apparently they're really hard to get.
For some people.
Well, okay, yeah, but hey, it happens. There's always the trade day coming up, right?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty cool miniature, and I have no doubt that I will attempt to use it on somebody's character.
I wonder whose. And the last of the small miniatures is Lay and Tololo. It's the most weirdest helmet I have ever seen, I will admit to that.
So, Lay is a guy.
Yes.
With a moustache and a beard, which you can't see unless you look really, really close. And he's got, what, is that chains?
I would say, yeah. He has some weird items of clothing, and we'll say that.
And he's got, is it a halberd or just a pike? Or
I would say it's a pike, but still, the cage helmet does seem to be a strange thing.
Yeah, I would have figured that you just step to the side and then you stick your weapon through the side of his helmet, through one ear, and it comes out the other.
Or if you're shooting an arrow at the side.
Yeah, that helmet's not going to help.
No.
No. Anyway.
Alright, and now onto the, the common bigger creatures. This one is a winter wolf.
I'm not going to say too much about this miniature because I have a winter wolf that's almost twice this size from an older set.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we saw the winter wolf in another set not so long ago.
They do bring out the wolves quite a bit, but yeah. I mean, I kind of like this one because it's a miniaturized winter wolf, and so especially if lower level characters face one, it's manageable.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not terribly impressed by this miniature. Sorry. I'm glad it's a wolf, but that's about it.
All right. Next up, the Formian.
One of the better miniatures in this set, my view anyway. It's not the largest Formian miniature I've seen. I've got a much larger one, but it's nice that it's been included.
Yes.
And has that very Quasimodo look.
The bells.
The bells. Anyway, moving on.
So here we have the Fire Giant, with his flaming sword and his flaming fists of doom.
I've got a whole bunch of these and I'm looking forward to trading them off to people for other things. But it is a very cool miniature, and it's at this point I can say now this is why I've bought so many bricks of these miniatures. Yeah. Just because they are so good. They are so impressive.
Okay, next up we have Cloud Giant number 1 with a trident.
Pretty sure I've got this miniature. But if I don't, I'm certainly hoping to pick it up later on as a trade. And this is what really makes this set pop.
Yes.
Is the sheer number of huge
when you
giants.
had large miniatures, it was kind of along the size of maybe slightly larger than the Winter Wolf. These ones are almost triple the size.
Yeah.
I mean, the boxes themselves that they come in are double the size of the normal boxes.
Yeah.
Next up, Cloud Giant with Scimitar.
And you're paying pretty much the same price too, aren't you? I haven't really found there was a price difference.
No.
So this set is the one set that I have probably spent the most money on, and I will probably buy more because eventually they'll be out of stock and you won't be able to get them anymore.
I mean, who doesn't want to use a giant now and again?
Well, considering the amount of time we've spent at high level, that I've been running games at high level, giants are the most sensible thing to throw at the players because, they can take it.
Oh yes. Okay, now we're on to Frost Giants with her great big two-handed sword.
Yeah. Well...
And yes, that is a her.
That is a her. Not completely sure that you can tell that the he is a he and not a her. I'm going to say now that this particular model I don't like quite so much. The scale is fine, but there was a Frost Giant with an axe and a previous set, I can't remember which one, that I preferred. And it just didn't have a base the right size.
I have to say that the detail on these ones are a lot better than the previous ones though.
Yeah, okay. Yep, I'll give you that. It's true. Yep.
Alright, next up we have Frost Giant number 2 with a big axe.
So is this the girl or the guy?
Oh, no, they're all girls. For some reason the girls are the Frost Giants.
Oh, okay. And as you can see, it's got lots of detail, but yeah, I prefer the other ones, personally. It's just me anyway.
Alright, and now we come up to the UFO of the series, the Stone Giant. I mean, he's grey, he's got black eyes, and he looks like an alien. I'm sorry. I have to say I'm disappointed with this miniature myself.
Scale, size is an issue for me. The base is the right size, but
yeah.
I don't understand why it's so small.
Maybe he hasn't been eating enough rocks when he was young.
Well, yeah, well that could be a possibility, but also too, the sculpt and design looks very similar to a Stone Giant that I saw them release in a previous set, and I still haven't been able to figure out if it's an exact duplicate of that and they just put on a bigger base or not. But it does seem very, very similar. That's just me.
Alright, next up we have the fun giant, the hill giant.
These are my favourite.
Oh yeah, these are the most heaviest miniatures, bar maybe one, that I've ever had.
And obviously because they have great huge packs, probably full of rocks on the back, or full of food, or full of little animals and people that they're going to...
Well, hill giants like to collect anything that's in their way. They're a bit stupid like that.
But yeah, you put these on the battlefield and it just makes the board look like, well, there's no hope for the players.
Right, and we've got another hill giant. This one's got a bit of a spear-like weapon.
Yeah, these are definitely one of my favourites, the hill giants. Can't get enough of them. Yet again, a great huge pack on the back. Really nice detail. Paint job is not fantastic, but I guess they're dealing with a large area to paint.
Alright, next up we have another fire giant. This one's more of a warrior fire giant, I guess. The other one was maybe commander. These ones look like rank and file.
This has got a hammer with a spike at the back. I like these, and if I can get more of them, I will. Nice detail.
Yep. Alright, and last for the common big ones is the last fire giant, and this one's got a mace.
Same, essentially the same sculpt, right? Just
Yeah.
like some of the others.
Different
But-
weapon and different paint job in certain places.
But essentially the pose is the same, just a different weapon.
Well, that D6 or D8 is damage differences, you know, just might keep you alive.
Yeah. But yeah, they've only changed the paint job just a fraction, but essentially the same sculpt,
Yeah.
different weapon. But a very cool miniature.
Okay, and now on to the final few miniatures, which are the rare big ones. And look, there's King. Heck, he weighs a ton. Yeah,
Nice, nice.
His
Yeah.
full name is Hekaton, and you know a lot of people have been making some funny comments about that, but he almost weighs a ton, believe it or not.
He's a very impressive miniature.
Well, he's a king, so he has to be.
Yeah. And apparently that's not an ice cream cone that he's carrying. That is some sort of
Cold.
mace scepter.
Well, I think he's a cloud giant, so that could be like cloud coming from this weapon he's got.
Can you lick cloud?
Yes. It tastes like vanilla.
All right.
Next up, we have Countess Censura.
This is a hard miniature to find. Oh my
some
gosh.
people.
Well, thanks very much. I'm still searching for mine, but very hard miniature to find.
From what I've been told, this is really hard to find, believe it or not.
And Lucky John managed to pick one up.
First box.
Yeah, okay, alright, he rubs it in. Thank you very much. Anyway, it is a very impressive miniature, and I'm still eager to try to get this one if I can. I just don't want to pay somebody to buy it individually.
Alright. Next up, we have Harshnag, or as Fred's player group like to call him, Hashtag.
Yeah, okay. I've used this character so many times, I just didn't have a miniature for it. Now I do.
Yes.
And it is a very cool miniature. I would be worried to deal with a giant that carries 2 axes. I'm assuming that they are hand axes for him.
Yeah, and he's very helpful to, you know, humans, because he likes humans, kind of.
Yes.
Well, better than some people.
He's like a nice frost giant, which, is there such a thing?
No.
Apparently he's like the only one.
Or it could just be the way Fred plays him.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure that he's been depicted in the adventures that I've run as being a good guy, a nice frost giant, and, you know, not a complete arse.
And last but not least, the Bane bad guy from Storm King's Thunder, Imarath.
I've got 2 of these,
Yeah.
and it is a very cool miniature. It just breaks really easily. All that lightning coming off her, essentially, they don't stay on very well.
Well, I've been lucky to keep mine pretty much together. And I will spoiler, she's actually a dragon, believe it or not, folks.
Okay, alright. Whoops, sorry if you didn't want to know about that.
Well, if you kind of look at the top of her head, you can kind of see her horns.
Yeah, so she's a dragon. Oh, that's interesting. I'm playing in that adventure. I started it yesterday. Thanks very much, John.
You're
Thanks.
welcome.
So, that's pretty much all of the really large miniatures. I'm going to say now, out of this set, I'm really impressed. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 huge miniatures in a set of 44.
44, yep.
Now we don't have the premium miniature because that's just...
Personally, a friend of mine got it and we're like, ooh, wow, okay, that's nice.
It's rubbish.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like seeing a huge hill giant.
For all the
On a rock.
premium ones, that is the least impressive to me.
Yeah. It just isn't doing anything.
No. It's a lazy hill giant that eats things. That's it.
Yeah. What is she going to do? Going to throw the dragon foot at somebody?
Well,
Fart. Maybe.
that's probably more likely, poison damage.
Poison damage for farting. Bad breath. Okay, moving on.
Alright, and this set, as per the previous sets, have invisible creatures. So we just thought we'd show you a few of them that we have. Yes, they're invisible. Yes, they look okay, but I mean, personally, I would never use them.
I have a dim view of invisible miniatures because sticking them on the table just means the players will metagame and they will just target them because they can see an invisible miniature. So
yes,
stupid.
It's alright if you're the player character and you go invisible, but not for monsters.
Yeah, that's just the stupidest thing under the sun. So you can chase them down if you really want, but personally I don't think they're worth the effort. Alright, so tell me, what do you think of this particular set overall, John?
Overall, I love this set. This is literally the best set that they have produced as of yet. I mean, I love the hill giants because they are literally giant-sized. That's what you kind of expect from giants, of course. What can I say? You have a full range of creatures that you haven't been introduced as miniatures. You have some reintroductions, so you can swap them around. I mean, it has a full range of things that I thoroughly enjoy about this one. I mean, I haven't probably bought as many as Fred, but I was kind of lucky with my opens, I guess. But this is a set that I will occasionally, if I feel like getting some more, this is one of the sets I'll get. Yeah,
I agree. It is the best set that I've seen so far from Wizkids for the Dungeons and Dragons line. And I don't know that they'll be able to duplicate it because my general feeling is that it was like an accident on their part or something. Granted, it is the best set and I highly recommend them.
Yep. I do feel sorry for the next set that gets brought out because of it, because a lot of people will be expecting the same quality and the same thing, and they could be highly disappointed.
Yes, no spoilers there, eh? Anyway, if you found this video helpful or informative, please share, like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you have any questions about the miniature series, just put in the comments and I'll answer the questions. Until next time.
Until next time. Woohoo!
Keep rolling those 20s. See you later.